It is Tuesday night and it is time to get this party started. Let's get the weekly reading vlog going. I actually already filmed this clip earlier today, but I filmed it in the car, but I'm not driving my usual car, so I couldn't put the phone in the usual place on the dash, and it ended up being an extremely awkward angle. And I went to edit the clip from today and I was like, no, I'm not going to subject the viewers to that. So we're trying again with my more usual set, if you will, which is just my living room and my library. I really don't have a lot to say right now, a lot to report on the books that I'm reading, but I want to set the stage for the week because I have a goal. My goal is to finish something. I need to finish a book. Like, I get to this point where when I have multiple books I'm working on, I need to finish one. Like, I might be reading a lot of pages in a day, but I need to, like, I don't know, it's like crossing something off a list. Like, you just feel like I want to be done with one of them. I don't know what kind of a psychological issue that is, but that's where I'm at right now. So here's the thing. Count of Monte Cristo, I have about, I calculated, I think it was like 140 pages left in that one, which compared to 1,247 is like, I'm almost done, right? But it's still 140 pages. In the Jane Austen biography, I have about half the book left, and I think it's like 150, so a similar amount. In Anne of Ingleside, I'm about a third of the way through, and I think I have about 170 pages left. And then the other book that I'm reading that I haven't gotten very far in is Faro's Daughter by Georgette, and that one is like 288 pages, and I've only read a few chapters, so let's say I've read 30-ish pages, so that one has the most, 200 and some pages left. Probably not going to finish that one, although that one is probably faster reading than some of the others. Could go either way. Which one am I going to finish first this week? Okay, that's what we're going to find out. It's a race to the finish line. Which book will Anne finish first this week? That's what we all want to know. Okay, well, that's what I want to know. You might not care. And then the next question is, what will I pick up after that? There are a couple of more things that I need to check off in May. The first one is Lover's Vows for the Jane Austen 250th birthday celebration. That one is a short read. I think I could probably read it in one sitting or pretty close to that. So I'm kind of saving that until I have finished one of these books, but I do need to read that one. And also for Jeanette's Christian Fiction Reading Challenge, I need to read The May Prompt, which is a book set in the US South. And I have a couple of options from my shelf, but none of them are really like calling to me. And this is Mood Read May. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to look on my Kindle Unlimited and see what I can find there to pique my fancy, because I paid for 3 months of it, 99 cents a month. You know, I'm a big spender and I want to make it worth it. Okay. I've already read an Emma M. Lyon book, so technically I've already paid for it, but I really want to read another Kindle Unlimited book to make it feel like, you know, it was a worthwhile investment for the 99 cents. So I might look on Kindle Unlimited and see what I can find as far as that goes for that challenge, and ignore my TBR over here. Like, don't see it. It's not there. You can't see it. There are not 30 books right over here that I haven't read yet. They're not there. Okay. So that's what I have going on this week. Those are my plans. Now I'm going to go read so I can finish something. It is a Friday evening, and this is my first chance to film another clip. And I have not read nearly as much as I would have liked to have read. I was very busy yesterday, even though I had a free evening. We originally had flag football scheduled for the evening, but we didn't get far enough in the tournament or the playoffs to get to that game, so, which was sad. But at the same time, it was nice to have an evening open up. But I ended up spending the whole evening working from home, doing some planning for my church. So that was needed to be done, and I'm glad I had the free time to do that, but that meant I did very little reading yesterday. Wednesday, I did some, but not a lot. So here we are. That's how it's going right now. Let me update on the status of everything so far. So Anne of Ingleside, I do not remember where I was before, what pages I was on, but I am on a page 106 now. I think I've read a chapter, maybe two, since I last was on here. So I still have 100 some pages left in this book, 140 some pages. There's that, making progress, but not very fast. And for Jane Austen, A Life by Claire Tomalin, the biography that I'm reading, I am up to a page 180. And there are 284 pages. So I have about 100 pages left in that one. And in Faro's Daughter by Georgette, I'm reading that on Kindle, and so I don't know exactly how many pages, but I think I've read through 5 or 6 chapters. I can't remember what. So not made significant progress on that one. I just haven't had time. Okay, story of my life. That's okay. Count of Monte Cristo. We've made good progress on this one. We are steadily zooming towards the end. I am on page 1152, which means that I have fewer than 100 pages left in this tome, which means that this is the one I'm going to read until it's done. And I'm hoping to do that today. So, wish me luck. I still have, so I'm home this evening, most of the evening by myself. My kids and husband are at a pickup basketball game. And so I'm home by myself, but I have to fix myself dinner and eat it. I have to start laundry. I have to do some work from home, some more work from home. Still, same planning project I started yesterday. And what else do I have to do? I don't even know, but that's a good start, right? So anyway, still have quite a bit to do this evening. I won't be able to just sit and read the whole entire time. However, I'm going to stay up until I'm done with this book. That's what I'm doing. Staying up till this book is done, and I don't care how late it is. We're going to finish it because I need to finish a book. And it's going to be The Count of Monte Cristo. So if it is late at night, I will wait until tomorrow morning to film my thoughts about it, about wrapping it up. But if I'm able to do it miraculously somehow earlier in the evening, which would be really great, but it also might mean that I'm shirking all my other responsibilities. So anyways, I'll tell you about it earlier. So those are my plans. Wish me luck. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I just filmed a whole clip. I don't know. It was probably 3 minutes or so, a little one. But I hadn't pressed the record button yet. Anyway, it's still Friday evening. I have set a load of laundry going. I sorted it and I set a load going. I fixed myself dinner and I ate it. I made my June TBR and recorded the video so that can go live this week at some point, probably Wednesday. And I read another chapter in The Count of Monte Cristo. And can I just tell you, at this point in the book, like the last 25% of the book, almost every chapter is so dramatic and emotional. And it's very compelling reading. And it's very fast paced. The rest of the book, I mean, despite the fact that it's long and covers many, many years, most of the book moves at a pretty brisk pace. But the first, third is setting the scene. And things happen in rapid succession, but we're laying the groundwork for the actual plot to play out. And then the middle third is where you fast forwarded some time and it's the beginning of the end, but it takes a lot of time to reintroduce all of the threads and start weaving them together a little bit more tightly so you can understand what's going on and see all of the pieces falling into place. And that part is the slowest pace and it takes the longest to get through. But then this last 25% to third of the book is just really super fast paced and dramatic. And there's just every chapter, something is happening. And also what I'm really enjoying is the dialogue, Alexandre Dumas writes it in such a way that you can hear the characters saying these things in whatever emotion it is that the conversation is taking place, whether it's frantic or excited or angry or loving or curious or bored, whatever it is, it's so well described, and the dialogue is phrased so well that you can just really hear these conversations taking place. And a lot of these dramatic and emotional moments involve in dialogue between different characters, all the different characters in the story. So I just read one such scene in the chapter that I just finished, and oh my goodness. So looking forward to reading some more, but now I need to go set another load of laundry going. Later, the same day, I folded and put away the first load, set yet another load going, finished my planning project that I started the other day, and then got sucked into Facebook Reels and wasted I don't even know how much time. My husband and sons will be home soon, I think, but I am going to start reading, and I'm going to finish these last 80 pages. Well, we are now to Saturday evening, and I am just getting around to filming this. So this is just in the nick of time for me to be able to finish editing this video and getting it up. But I woke up not feeling well, so I've not felt well most of the day. I've been sleeping most of the day, but I did finish this last night. So, but it was a little bit too late for me to film edit. So here we are, the Count of Monte Cristo. And wow, what a wild ride, as I already said, the last 25% of it. But what's strange is, like, you're on this 1,000+ page journey all of this time, and then everything is building up to the conclusion, and all of the threads get wrapped up together, and then you're done. And it honestly feels a little bit abrupt, strangely enough, which is weird to say because it's a really long book. So the ending just came a little bit suddenly, and I don't know, I guess it's just interesting how the ending was written not from the main character's perspective. He's literally sailing off into the sunset and heading off to a new life for him, but it's not seen from his perspective. So I guess maybe that's part of why it feels a little bit abrupt. So I don't know, but all in all, it was a very good book. I am so glad that I read it. I really enjoyed spending the past few months with Edmond Dantes and all of his various friends and enemies, and in all of his various emotional and spiritual quandaries that he went through. This time around, I was just reading very much surface reading. I don't know if I ever picked it up again, but if I did, I would probably try to read a little more closely, because I feel like there's a lot going on here in terms of what's being said besides just the main, adventure story, which in and of itself is, just a fun read and engaging and entertaining time. I feel like there's a lot more that's going on about very deep things, actually, about the role that we as humans play in meting out God's justice, and whether or not he uses humans for that, and whether or not we should, as humans, like what makes it right for a human to mete out justice. Anyway, so definitely grappling with a lot of those themes. And so that was interesting, but I didn't really take the time to think through any of them very carefully, or to try to analyze too deeply what was actually happening in that way in the story. So I did read one article that was very interesting, because I wanted to look up more about the relationship between the Count of Monte Cristo and the girl that he rescues from slavery. Haide is her name, and she becomes an integral part of the story, part of the plot at one point. but mostly she's a minor character, except that she does become, there are 2 points of the story where she becomes very important to the plot. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I had some questions about that. And so I read an interesting article where the author was analyzing why the character of Haide was not included in the vast majority of adaptations of the Count of Monte Cristo. Why it is that she wasn't included, or the way her role was typically diminished in those movies, or changed significantly from the way Alexandre Dumas wrote her. And it was an interesting article because it did examine a lot of the themes in Count of Monte Cristo and the role that Haide played in illustrating those themes. And it shed a little light on her character, and it helped me to appreciate a little bit better what Dumas was doing with that part of the story, because initially I was very skeptical of that part of this. I wasn't loving that part of the story. I'm trying to be a little bit vague here, but after reading that, I found it very interesting. So it's very spoilery, but I will try to remember to link it in the description box below if you would like to read it for yourself. If you've read Count of Monte Cristo and you would be interested in reading that, I'll try to remember to link it below. Now I have still 3 books going, essentially. Anne of Ingleside, which I have about 100 pages left in that, and the Jane Austen biography, again, about 100 pages left, and Faro's Daughter, which I have about 75% of that left. I am hoping to finish Anne of Ingleside over the course of the next couple of days, and I am hoping to wrap up Faro's Daughter within the week, and Jane Austen's biography by the end of this week for sure, because I do have 2 more books to read for May, and so hoping that I can get them all done in May and get started on my June TBR, which I am going to be sharing on Wednesday. But before I go, I do want to mention I had made a goal to have a giveaway every month this year, but for a variety of reasons, I took a break in April, mostly because just administratively it was too much for me, like trying to manage it in the sense of setting it up, communicating with the winners, sending it off. I was really behind on the March one. I was really late with that. So I took the month of April off, but for the month of May, I wanted to do something special to celebrate my birthday. So it's taken me most of the month to curate this gift that I want to give away today. So this one will last for a week. I think that will be a lot more manageable for me. So I think going forward, that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably just do like a week long, or even some just weekend flash giveaways, whatever I do. But anyway, this will be a week-long giveaway, and I'm going to try to remember to share it on my Instagram as well. But I have collected a little box of goodies that I like to think of as my favorite things. So I am going to roll that footage now and show you everything that is in the box. And you can enter. I think I'm actually going to hold this one over on my Instagram. So I will leave a link in the description box to my Instagram page. My link is always there, but I'll leave a link directly to the post that I will make about this giveaway. And I think I will host it from there. So head on over there. So let's see what all is in the box. One lucky winner will receive this adorable little box packed with some of my favorite things. Beginning with this cute little sachet filled with my favorite chocolates. Of course, coffee from a local roaster. And some tea for those who don't like coffee. and a mug to drink it in. The perfect size, by the way. A little notebook to jot down your thoughts because I'm a pen and paper kind of girl. And a felt tip pen. And my favorite book. Look at that gold foiling on the cover. Look at those end papers. Let's take a moment to appreciate. So, there you have it, for one lucky winner. So, one lucky winner will be receiving this. Now, don't worry, for packaging purposes, I have carefully wrapped the mug in bubble wrap, so it's not, hopefully, going to break in the journey. But just for the video, I just left it looking pretty. So, head on over to Instagram and enter to win this gift for yourself. All the instructions will be over there. And unfortunately, this is only for the United States because the shipping will be expensive enough as it is. So I am looking forward to sharing that gift with one of you, and I will see you next time. Bye.